All right, welcome back to the Vet S.O.S podcast. We have a very special guest with us on next, Mr. Brian Arrington, retired Air Force president, founder of Vets Industry and Vets Industry Foundation Inc., and director military programs and recruiting for Military Hiring Accelerator LLC. I love your story, Brian, how you started Vets Industry because you saw the gap. You saw the knowledge gap. You realized something had to be fixed, and you turned it into something. And honestly, I tell everybody this: Vets Industry is the biggest, baddest thing out there. You guys have just this huge market. I believe we're 75,000 plus now.
Almost. We're at 73,000. So we should hit 75 in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. And, talking with people like you and then Bruce and Alfredo, point blank, there's so many organizations out there. And then you got something like Vets Industry. It's like, I don't need to go start anything. I'm going to volunteer to help other people, which is why I'm now one of your volunteers trying to help with the research piece, because I like doing that. So yeah. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. Life's great.
Yeah.
I just came back. I have to say, give a shout out to the Entrepreneur Bootcamp for Veterans out of IVMF, Institute of Veterans and Military Families from Syracuse. I was able to participate in an in-residence last week in Missouri University, and it was phenomenal. Greg Beer, the director, ran a great week. I learned so much more about what I could be doing to best or better Vets to Industry, from Google Analytics and creating a business page to financials and just all sorts of things and new services. Matter of fact, I just launched a new service yesterday, which I haven't even announced yet, so I'll announce it on this show.
Oh,
wow! Breaking news.
Yeah.
So now that program is through IVMF, right?
Yeah, the Institute of Veterans and Military Families, phenomenal program. There are so many resources that IVMF services they provide. The Onward to Opportunity is a phenomenal resource that people that are transitioning out should utilize. You get a free certification in a ton of different. You can only pick one, but there's a ton of different ones to choose from cyber IT to PMP to Agile to SHRM. So you should definitely check out Onward Opportunity through the Institute of Veterans and Military Families, IVMF.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal program. They got some great things going on. And I know you guys usually have, at least try to have a rep on there where you guys talk about them on the various V2I networking events.
Right.
So you saw this gap when you were getting out. And you just decided, you know what, I'm going to take over the world and create the biggest, baddest organization out there? Or it just sort of morph into that?
So listen, to be honest, I was pissed off. So going back the year before I transitioned, before I retired from the Air Force after 20 years, 1 month and 12 days. So March of 2000, not counting. Every single retiree knows the exact day that they got out. Countdown. So the year before I got out is 2018. I found LinkedIn by accident. Had no idea what LinkedIn was, and when I found it was through a commercial on the news at like 11 o'clock at night. It said join 500 million of us. I'm like, what the heck is this? Like a job board? So I got on there and I was looking. I was like, I don't see the jobs on here, and I'm a year out, and I don't know when you should start looking for jobs. Nobody ever told me. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll apply now. 365 days out for when I can get a job, and that's the naivety that I had. But I got on LinkedIn and I found this group, the Veterans Mentor Network. If you are on LinkedIn, a LinkedIn user, you should definitely find this group. It's got over 150,000 mentors on there that are wanting to help you out. But there's other mentorship programs which I'll cover during this interview. And so I got on there, and this individual reached out to me almost immediately saying, hey, let us know, what your desired role is, what your geographic location, when you can start working, and tell the whole group. So I did that. And within about 2 minutes, I had this individual, Army E7 Ranger at a Fort Benning, Georgia. I was stationed at Warner Robins. Tell me about this program called Centurion Military Alliance that's put on by Dr. Shante Hall. And it's, he said it's like TAP on steroids. I'm like, how can that be? So one day TAP. So like, I don't get it, but I'm going to go. So the next day I went to this transition class. And in the first 30 minutes, I learned that there's over 45,000 veteran service organizations nationwide that provide free services and support to us and our families. And I got pissed off. So here I am, a senior SEO, E7 in the Air Force. And all I can think back to is 2002 when I put on E5. And all of the airmen that I had let get out the military without setting them up for success on the outside due to my own ignorance of all these free resources that existed. And then it hit me and I started crying. And in this class, I'm in the front row because it immediately hit me. How many of those airmen are part of the 22 that have killed themselves a day since then, or unemployed, or underemployed, or on substance abuse, divorced, or homeless, or incarcerated, all because Sergeant Arrington, Brian Arrington, didn't give them the resources because I didn't know that could have given them hope leaving the service. So I immediately go home. I said, there's got to be a site where all these free resources are. So I'm digging around, I'm looking everywhere, and I can't find a single site repository where all the free resources are co-located. I'm like, this is asinine. How can this not exist? How can people know there's 45,000 of them and without there being a central repository? So I couldn't do anything then about it. I mean, I was a military cop. I didn't know how to build a website or anything like that. So I spent the next 6 months really learning everything I possibly can about transitioning from some of the greats, Michael Quinn, Justin Pearson, Eric Schlachter, Corey Boatwright, Daniel Savage. So all these individuals, John Phillips, Roger Rowley, learning about all the free resources that are out there and how to successfully transition. At the end of that 6-month window, I did a post on LinkedIn. I only had about 600 followers at that time. I was just happy I hit the 500 mark, right? And so I had this individual reach out to me and say, hey, I see that you talk a lot to transitioning service members, because I would regurgitate everything that I learned back to my network so that they could learn what I was learning. Yeah. And he said, I'm getting out of the Navy this month, and this was December 2018. And January 1st, I'm starting with Orion Talent, and I'm going to have access to 700 jobs, but I don't have any veterans in my network. Can you help get the word out? I was like, oh, yeah. My New York swag came out. I was like, oh, I got you with this one, brother. So I did one little post. I say, veterans, career opportunities. Post below your desired career role, desired geographic location, and when you can start working. And my friend Chris Dove will help you find a job anywhere in the nation. Such an ignorant post, especially with someone who only has 600 followers. But it was so original that it went viral. When I say viral, at the end of 4 weeks, we had 850 or 840,000 views on that one post.
Oh my gosh.
It became a 24/7 virtual career fair because I had companies like Norwegian Cruise Lines and Bank of America and Amazon and all these companies coming and posting their open requisitions. And I had all these service members and mil spouses posting what they were liking or wanting. And I had to get volunteers to help me sort through these 1,100 comments and start tagging people in different threads so they can connect with each other. Hence the beginning of Vets Industry, which I didn't know at the time. And so that January, what happened was we started seeing a lot of veteran advocates coming to our posts, and they were like, well, hey, have you used IVMF or Still Serving Veterans or 4Block or Bunker Labs. And the same answer kept coming out. What's that? I don't know what that is. Can I use that? I've been out the military for 3 years. And it just hit me like these people are getting out in like a week. And they don't know about SkillBridge. They missed out on that. They don't know about free training courses. I said, these people are going to become the 22 that kill themselves a day tomorrow, or one of those statistical categories. I said, they need a resource library now, but I didn't know how to build one. I tried on Wix for like 3 hours to build my own website and completely crashed and failed. I was like, okay, I need to get help. So I did some cold calling. I did a Boolean search on LinkedIn, which allows you to kind of find individuals based on certain criteria. And my criteria was that there would be a veteran who has web design background. And I found like 7 people. And I sent the same message to each one that I'd like to get on a call with them. I want to build the Library of Atlantis for veterans, mill spouses, and dependent children, but I don't know how to build a website. Can you help me? Will you get on a 15-minute call with me? And about 2 hours later, I had this woman reach back out to me. Her name is Bobby Young. And I said, can you get on a 15-minute call? She's like, absolutely. Get on that 15-minute call with her. And everything changed. She said, I told her the story. And she said, not only do I want to help you on this, but I take on one free or one pro bono client a quarter, and I'm going to make you my permanent pro bono. So she built the website. I gave her 72 resources, which I had curated myself through my transition, and got it on the website. And since then, that was March 24th of 2019. I'm still in the military. I don't get out till July 1st. And since then, the website has gained over 1,000 free resources on there. And we add more every single month as we learn about them, vet them, and get them on the site. So it was really awesome. Now, I mean, we have hundreds of thousands of visitors to the website that come, over 330,000 page views of the website. We have started gaining followers like on LinkedIn like crazy, and we were getting 1,000 followers every 10 days. We're still pretty much at that window. We surpassed like Bunker Labs and 4Block and all of them. Like, it was crazy, and it was all word of mouth. I didn't pay a single dime in marketing. All this was word of mouth. And then COVID hit. So we were just a resource library, and then COVID hit, and it pissed me off again. So the second week of March, I don't know, something about March. I don't know. But the second week of March in 2020, I'm attending my last event. It was a Bunker Labs like meet and greet, and we got word from some of the other organizations that all of their meetings were now canceled nationwide. And I was like, how can that can't be? Because the service members are still getting out, but now all the events where they can meet with hiring managers and recruiters and talking to veteran advocates are all getting canceled, and they have no way of being able to meet these people now. So like 1 a.m, leaving that Bunker Labs event, I said, COVID can't beat us. So I thought back to, I was going to school for my MBA at Syracuse, which I'm still at, and we use Zoom in our group discussions and stuff. I said, but I'd never been on the other side hosting a Zoom. I thought, what if I do like group breakout rooms and people can match up together? And said, we could do this. Like, I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to do it. And I told my volunteers at the time, probably had about 30 or 40 volunteers at that time. We're up to 93 now. And they said, you're crazy, Brian. Not going to happen. And I said, oh, not only we're going to do it, we're going to do it next week. So put out a whole wish you could come, wish you'll come. And I tried to front load it with recruiters, but it wasn't going to be a career fair, because if you hold a career fair and nobody gets hired, it's a dismal failure. But if you host a networking event and people get hired, then you're exceeding expectations, because all you need to do is make connections for the networking event to meet standards. So that was my tactical ploy. But
Paying
a lot
attention in your MBA classes.
Absolutely. Branding is all about it, So that's how the Best Industry events started. We had about 100 people in the first event, and then it just grew. And a lot of people know us for our networking events and not the resource library, which is like, go over to the resource library. We have so much stuff there for you. But yes, still come to the events, but come to the resource library. And
What kind of engagement? So in the events that you have, the networking, things like that. I mean, obviously, it's a lot of people that are in transition, but other resources, right, that come and participate. Yeah. Who are they mingling with? Who do you have that come in as resources?
Yeah, so the perfect thing is we have recruiters that come. We have veteran service organizations from around the country that come. Matter of fact, your previous guest, Joe, he comes on the networking events as well. Talking about his canines, and then we have they're all over the place. So we have 4-block representatives. We have Hire Heroes USA representatives. I mean, just the whole spectrum will come through. And then, of course, we have colleges and universities that also come, because not everybody's desire once they leave the military is to get a job or get employed. Some want to go to higher ed. So I put out the invitation. I try to reach out to colleges and universities to come and talk about their degree programs. And if they're hiring, great, that too. But it gives those that are coming who aren't career seekers, or are career seekers, but not necessarily looking for education, and maybe their spouses, that connection point.
That's awesome. What about I guess engagement with, and you mentioned colleges and universities, but I know that there's programs out there like up in New York, Perscolas, right, is out of New York, I believe. There's like My Computer Minds and things like that. Do you have some cross training?
Warrior Scholar Project? So we don't. What we do is we direct people to free resources. So I have mentors at Best Industry who, as somebody needs help, they send an email to operations@bestindustry.org. And so if they're looking for career opportunities, or just don't know what they want to do yet in life, they can email us, and we have one of the veteran advocates that are in Best Industry as a volunteer, reach out to them and start that dialogue. We also push heavily American Corporate Partners and Federati. American Corporate Partners, for those who don't know, provides a free mentor from being a senior executive or a congressman or astronaut. They have baseball presidents, all sorts of stuff, all the way down to senior program managers in every single industry. And they will provide for you for free a mentor for a year in whatever kind of industry you want or you're desiring. Actually, when you apply, if you tell them that you found out from Best Industry, you'll actually get priority placement. So within a couple of days, you'll be set. So you can skip the line of all. I
didn't know that.
Service managers. Yeah.
That's a hookup right there.
I just started ACP. It's phenomenal program. So
and the cool thing is, some people don't get great fits at the beginning, and that's okay. Don't be scared to ask for a new mentor. I was scared. The first mentor I had, we just didn't click. She was a lot older, and I didn't really get a lot out of it. Like we didn't create that bond that I wanted, and so I told my ACP liaison, and within that week, I had a new mentor and we clicked like glue. We're still friends. Matter of fact, he's on my board of advisors. Brian Ostrowski from Coca-Cola. He's the senior program manager for the Simply brand for all of North America. So that's the kind of people that they get, and we text each other every week. We keep in touch.
As this thing started to morph, okay, you determined you're going to have this networking event. You're going to do it next week.
Yeah.
Where did you come up with 5 hours?
So great thing. So I picked that time because you have West Coast, East Coast, and overseas. And so you want to provide the opportunity for all of them to meet each other. And especially transitioning overseas is difficult because you don't know any recruiters stateside. So you're transitioning the States and then you're trying to find employment. Well, that's backwards. You should have some kind of network before you transition to the States so that you can go into an employment opportunity. So I do the 5 hours. It's come and go as you please. So people, it's like a hotel bar. Everybody's gone to a hotel bar before, and everybody wants that hotel bar to be open 24/7, right? Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to drink there 24/7. I mean, unless you're a Marine, but you want it's a ding on the Marines. Hey, Alfredo, Bruce. So you want the opportunity to go whenever you want, but it doesn't mean you're going to stay there the whole time. It's choice. And so that's why we created the networking events to be 5 hours. The first hour we spend with a keynote speaker, somebody who really knows the game, either on transitioning or career development or whatever the case may be. And then we go into our sponsor for the event. Every event we try to get a sponsor, and the sponsors get a lot of extra things that the regular recruiters and veteran service organizations don't get. And that's 4 weeks banner on our front page of our website where we get tons of clicks and direct links to their page. So sponsor will talk for 3 minutes, whereas everybody else only gets 30 seconds. And they can provide slideshows and such. So once that's done, if we have any supporting sponsors, then they go for 2 minutes. And after that, we introduce all the recruiters that have come to the event. And we have them raise their hands in order, and we call on them, and they give a 30-second elevator pitch about what their company provides, why somebody should work at their company. It's like a reverse interview. Once all that's done, we go to our first breakout session. And the breakout sessions are randomized between 8 to 10 people. And we usually get between 350 to 500 people on our events. So it's significant. So we might have 30 to 40 breakout rooms open.
Wow.
And vested industry volunteers are the ones facilitating those rooms. Or if we're short facilitators, then I tell everybody at the beginning, the one who's been to the most networking events is going to be the facilitator for that room. And their job is not to control the room. It's just to make sure no one person takes control and speaks the whole time. That everyone gets their 30-second elevator pitch in again, where it be a transitioning service member, whether it be a recruiter, a veteran service organization, or so on. So yeah, that's the 5 hours is so people can come and go. If a lot of people, they get addicted to it, so they'll come from the beginning like, I'm only going to spend an hour here. And they're there at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and like, hey, can we continue? Bruce used to do these happy hours from 7 to 8, and I just don't have the stamina to do it from 7 to 8. So if Bruce is there later in the day on the event, then I give him the reins to host the happy hour. Because people just want to talk and get things off their chest, and it's really intimate. And then we just keep switching from breakout room to intermission, where veteran service organizations all talk for 30 seconds, and then another breakout room, and then we go, and it's all randomized. So you're getting different people in each room that you go to. So you really get to connect.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm like everybody else. The first time I'm like, man, I don't have 5 hours to do this with. And then next thing you know, it's over. You're like, wow, that was amazing. What happened? Where'd the time go?
Why is my butt hurting?
So, amazing story. I honestly had never heard that before. Just the whole birth of the thing, truly amazing. So I know I started volunteering with B2I. I love what you do. I love the program. I love giving back to it. How can people help?
Yeah, that's a great question. And one is spread the word about the resource library within your command. If you're still active duty, we need you, because veteran service organizations are not taught in TAP. And so because of that, we have a significant disadvantage when we get out the military. So if you're a senior leader or even a junior member, and you've got friends that are getting out the military or whatever, or you hold like a lunch and learn and talk, bring up the Vets Industry website, show people how they can search and by category, by location and whatnot. Other thing is we are a 501c3. So we're always looking for companies that want to come and sponsor us annually. I have an announcement coming very soon about a Fortune company that is donating a sizable $25,000 to us to be our first annual sponsor. And I'll be putting out a challenge to other companies to get on the bandwagon now while we're still relatively small, because we will take over. I plan on going international in about 5 to 7 years. So yeah, it's going to be big. We won't just be taking care of the U.S. military. We'll be taking care of the Australian military, because they don't know about the free resources when they get out. And then England, and then Canada, same thing. So we're going to have a B2I international. So that's my
awesome
plans.
Yeah. Well, I got a gold nugget from you, and, for our viewer audience, I want to just reiterate that, which is, especially if you were overseas, right? Offshore duty stations, and you're talking about coming back and out processing, going through TAP and doing all that. Once you get back stateside CONUS, I mean, look, you can't wait. You've got LinkedIn at your fingertips. You've got all the social media platforms at your fingertips. We're born through the Who You Know network, right? Which says it all, right? It's not as much what you know, it's who you know. And you can start all of that right now. You can start it from Ramstein. You can start it from, Kunsan. I'm Air Force too, so I'm just naming Air Force bases.
Nice.
I mean, hey, look, you can start that while you're still overseas and have this network already birthed and born and ready to go by the time that you're getting ready to
connect with Vets Industry. I'm telling you, that's the easiest way. We also do international events for Pacific and for the European theater. So we'll have specific times that are more conducive to you over there, where you can meet with recruiters and stuff. So we do that each quarter. We started it last quarter. And if people are willing to donate, I mean, we get, $10 to $50 to $100 here and there. We'd appreciate that. Companies who want to sponsor us for an event or for one of our webinars, please reach out to me so we can get something set up. And also you can buy some of our apparel on our website. So
I'm glad you brought that up. Since I'm a volunteer for you, I'm going to call you out right now.
Do it.
You don't carry 4 extra large, extra long shirts on your site. So how is a volunteer like myself supposed to get a shirt?
So I will work on that, because I know the owner of Proper Patriot, who does our shirt design, and I will ask him specifically for that shirt size for you.
Absolutely, I'm all in. I'll definitely pick it up if you guys can get me a 4X extra long.
Right. That's awesome. Sean and I have never met in person physically, so I had no idea you were that big, Sean. You're
don't say that. That's mean.
Not big, but you're just, tall.
Yep.
I don't know how tall he is even. So
6'6".
Man, all right. Well,
Jeez.
I'm gonna go pick me up in XL, and I'll be good. I'll be good.
Yeah, we look the same height right now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're all the same here. Make sure that you guys are showing some love with Brian. Take a screenshot picture right now, blow him up, tag him in your social media platforms, tag Vets to Industry. Man, what a great resource. I mean, I got out in 99, so I had little to no resources, and Sean
Yeah.
and you guys are just opening my mind to all of the things that are out there. I love it. I love this. So
You can't get through our website in one day. Just check it out.
Not
there
a
you go.
chance. So appreciate you coming on today, Brian, man. Great story. And
Thank you.
Love what you're doing. Keep it up. And, you're the first one I recommend. Vets to Industry, then toss in there 50 strong after that.
Yeah.
And then 4 block commit, some of the big ones out there, but we always start with V2I in my book. Just amazing stuff. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me come on.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Talk to you later. And please stand by. Be back shortly.